Hi, Casey. Thank you for including your first draft of the assignment. Now, I noticed there is no PDF here. So what I did is I just dropped this image into preview so that we can take a look at it. Otherwise, I would have to be scrolling up like this and down like this, and I don't want to get you dizzy. So let's go ahead and take a look at it like this. Okay, so what first thing we're going to do is look at the requirements. Okay, so the image of the object should be dominant. Right now, it's not. It's just too small to be a dominant image. Right now, these three color images are grouped in a way that they act as one image. So this is competing with this for first position in hierarchy. This image has got to be dominant. I'll talk about that in a second. Object must be shown with somebody using it or interacting with it. That's excellent. Must show an image which is a result of using the object. How do we show an image that is a result of using a cell phone? I would say just the result of using, I would say that doubles as objects with somebody using it and the result. So that's good as both those images. Must show at least two components. You're not showing any components of the phone here. This is check. I don't know what that means. But these are just features of the phone. These aren't components. A component would be like the camera and maybe the keyboard or something. But you want to show two components, and those components have to be labeled with captions. Right now, your captions are larger than your body copy, so that's compromised hierarchy. Think of a newspaper. The largest type is the headline. The next largest type is the subhead, followed by the body copy, and the smallest type would be caption. So follow that formula. You must show at least two components. Yes, two components. I talked about that. Must include the design, the headline, design in everyday life. I want to talk about that. White background, 7 by 15. The image must come in contact with the edge of the page somewhere twice. We don't see any of that here at all. Your design must combine images that are in boxes and as part of the background and cropped. So these are in boxes. This is cropped, so that's great. Okay, so let's take a look. Now, the main thing is the image. The image is not a dominant image, and the image is cropped. I would recommend that you use an image of a full image of an iPhone, okay? And also, don't use an image with pictures on the screen. It's too distracting, okay? It's really, really distracting. So I would recommend using just a really super interesting image, large image of an iPhone. Let me show you an example of really being aggressive with the crop. This car right here, look how huge it is, and it's just cropped beautifully. Very, very interesting. The visual engagement here is tremendous. And I think that we could do that with your phone, just even cropping it. Don't forget that's got to come in contact at least twice, or however you want to present that. But maybe even partial foam like this, and really big to make an interesting focal point. Design in everyday life, the headline is starting to come to life, but right now I think let's shoot for something like this. Look how gorgeous this is. Isn't that beautiful? So that's really a nicely finessed typographic composition for the headline area. Right now I don't see any reason for these horizontal stripes. Right now they're separating the bottom of the page from the center of the page, and maybe even separating the title work a little bit. I don't recommend that. I recommend you find elements from the images and use those images. Okay, so for example, you've gone from this image here to these images here. So why circles? Why circles? The only thing I can see here is this kind of oval screen, this kind of rounded corner. I'm sorry, not oval, but rectangular screen. So why not use the shape of the screen for your images instead of using something that's seemingly unrelated like these circles? I don't see any circles here. Now, if you did have an image of the camera with a circle, then maybe these would make sense, but right now they don't, okay? Now, as far as your typography goes, that's a nice drop cap. That's a good job right there. Your regs, a little bit of adjustment on your regs. I think your regs are pretty good though. That's a typographic widow. You do not want that at all. You never want to have one word on a line alone. So you need to adjust that. That would be done adjusting regs. Now, there are 4 announcements this week, and how to adjust regs is one of them. There's 4 announcements and 3 lectures. All 7 of those resources are critically important. This lecture here, presentation 3, is fantastic. This shows you exactly what to look for in images for clues and how to assemble your composition in a way that creates a nice synergistic harmony between type and image. This is a great video right here. Okay, so again, I don't want to give you too many clues, but I really want you to go through the requirements, and then I really want you to go through those course resources again, and do it again after that. And it's really, really important that you do so. I promise you that once you look at those resources a few times, your second iteration will come along much easier. But basically what we want to do is we want to make sure that image is dominant, and then work from that. All right, as far as type goes right now, this is just dead center. I'm not real sure if that's the most interesting placement. And then these, remember, we're looking for clues in the images that will help us, assist us in the layout. So we're looking for meaning and objects and shapes and things in here that will help them. Right now, I don't see any reason for these horizontal rules. Okay, that's where we're at. That's where we need to be. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. But be sure to take a look at all of those 4 announcements and the 3 lectures from this week's resources. Okay, if you have any questions at all, please let me know. Thank you very much. Great start.